Is anybody else's clicking finger still sore from Friday? Hello and welcome back. I am the One-Eyed Crow, and today we're here to talk about the MetaZoo news updates from May 8th to May 14th. The first update that we got this week is related to the Wilderness Release Event Metal cards. Now, something interesting with these, I imagine because they're releasing so late, is they're not actually part of a release event. They're actually going to be including these with every order from the MetaZoo marketplace. We still don't have the dates for this yet on when they're going to start doing that, so keep an eye out for that, and maybe hold off on some orders if you are interested in receiving this card. And the card depicts Cumberland Dragon, more similar to what we see in the blister packs, with a release event medal shaped like a tree. For the second update that we got this week, it's a video of the Kickstarter promos, so you can see the holo patterns on those. And this video includes the Nightfall playing poker, Cryptid Nation playing poker, Wilderness playing poker, the Phantom Car Stash Loot promo, which obviously is not part of the Kickstarter, and the Archcaster Poker Night. Again, the Headcaster promo is missing from this update. It's probably related to the one from last week that we saw of the image of the cards. The background is the same as well, so they were probably taken at the same time. Moving forward to the New York City King or the Rat King promo, they started reviewing those over the last week, and they decided to share two of the funny ones that came up during this, and one of them depicts this fella here with a beard and a smile somebody had photoshopped onto him. The original image was actually dropped in the chat. I had seen this when it originally dropped, and the individual in the photo is actually the father of the person who submitted the entry. So this was readily available to somebody who wanted to Photoshop it. They just took it out of the MetaZoo Discord. And I think he would have gotten away with it if not for the Only Jesus Forgives Sin sign in the background. The second one is obviously Photoshopped, you can tell from the lighting here, of this man with his prize fish. Definitely the lighting that gives him away. So for the New York City King promo, there was over 860 entries, and 60% of those, so over half of those, were photoshopped. It was also announced that there's a second round of verification that's happening for these, where you needed to take a selfie and send that in to verify that you are the individual that was in the original picture. So with that said, knowing that 60% were identified out of the bat as being photoshopped, and then you also need to do this selfie verification to get your card, we're looking at well under a 500 print run for NYC King. And later on the week, on May 9th, it was announced that all of the emails had gone out to confirm the entries. So if you did not get that yet and you entered and you have a legit entry, check your spam folder. If you don't have the email, reach out to MetaZoo support. This week, we also started seeing more images of the caster cut packs and the cards coming out of that. The first update that dropped was a very zoomed in image of the player stamp. So for those of you that don't know, there's a couple different types of packs for the Caster's Cup. There's the regular Collecticon packs, there's the player packs, and we're now also finding out that there's staff packs. The first staff stamped card that they showed us was Bunnyman, and I'm going to be honest, this is a card that I'm probably going to get. I can't make it to the Caster's Cup, so I'll definitely be buying this on the secondhand market if one pops up, because the Bunnyman is one of my favorite cryptids. And these staff packs are going to go to metazoologists and volunteers that go to the Caster's Cup. So if you are part of that group, congratulations. If you're not part of that group, but you want to receive staff packs in the future, become a metazoologist and start volunteering for official MetaZoo events. You'll also have access to staff-only merchandise from MetaZoo. And I'm going to be honest, I basically at this point am a volunteer for MetaZoo. So Mike, if you're listening, can you hook me up? Maybe? So the Caster's Cup begins in just under 2 weeks. It starts on the 28th, and you have until May 22nd to register. Registrations are open now, so you can go sign up. I'll put a link in the description below for that. And one of the interesting things that came up out of this was that you need to be a part of the MetaZoo Discord to sign up. And this is a problem for some people because they've been banned from the MetaZoo Discord for talking about the secondary market or talking against MetaZoo and the staff there. Obviously, there's ways around not being able to access the MetaZoo Discord with your primary account. So there's still options, but not the best scenario for people who have been banned. And if you have any questions about the Caster's Cup, they did add 2 channels to the Discord, one for format questions and one for event questions. So check out the Discord, find those rooms if you have questions about the Caster's Cup. And on the 12th, we get a look at 5 cards that will be included in the Caster's Cup packs. 2 of these are reprints. One of them is of Loveland Frogman, and the other one is of Quetzalcoatlus. And we're seeing 3 new full holos, the Gumbaroo, which we saw last week, Nappa Rebobs, and Chibi Mothman. Cards that were only printed in non-holo and reverse holo before. On May 10th, we got a reminder that the 2nd annual fan art pack contest begins on the 15th. And I'm recording this right now on the night of the 14th. And we still don't have the details on how to enter, how to redeem these bookmarks, what the details of the contests are. So I imagine those are actually going to be coming out around the time that this video drops, probably a little after. So I'm sorry that I don't actually have that information for you today. I had assumed that they would have dropped some of that information ahead of time, but here we are. This is also a good time to remind you that I have been doing a logo contest on the channel. The prizes for that are sponsored by Immortal Workshop, and I'm going to be releasing a video tomorrow detailing the winners of that. Now, there was one thing that was brought to my attention by a few people, and it seems that some of the accounts that have liked the logos are definitely of fake accounts. So I'm going to be going through and I'm going to do an audit of the entries just to make sure that everything's fair. So bear with me on that. I'm hoping to get a video out for Monday, but it could be delayed depending on how that process goes. I am hoping to get that done in time because I do want to be timely with getting these bookmarks out. Also on May 10th, we got another look at the NFT PFPs that are coming out with Manifold. This one depicts the Grim Reaper in a solid gold format with a red background. It's beautiful in my opinion. And then later on this week on Friday the 13th, we got another look at one of this molten looking Piazza bird. And alongside that announcement, we actually found out more information about the whitelist. And the snapshot for the whitelist is going to be taken on the 15th, the day that this video is dropping. So unfortunately, with the format of how these weekly videos come out, and basically how my content freezes when I'm putting these videos together, I was not able to get that information out in time. How that whitelist works is if you own a Genesis NFT or a token NFT, you will be eligible to get the PFP for, I believe, cheap, 0.01 ETH, I think is what I heard. I'm not part of the NFT channel. I should probably honestly get an NFT just to be a part of that channel to provide better news updates for the NFTs. Knowing that the snapshot for the whitelist was going to be taken on the 15th, I did actually do some research on these, and they're all selling for basically $1,000, which I just don't really have to spend on an NFT right now. So if you know somebody that has one, or if you have one that you're willing to part with for cheaper than $1,000, reach out to me. Alternatively, if you know of a way for me to be able to get into that NFT chat to provide better updates for the NFT followers, let me know. It was also confirmed that there's only going to be 5,000 of these PFP NFTs. Initially, when they had dropped this, they said that there's going to be thousands of different variations. Technically, that's true. It really only works out to about 555 variations of each beastie. All right, on to Revive. A few days before the Nightfall Revive release, we get a look at the remaining 5 boards for the release, and those were Old Scratch, Red Ghost, Flying Manta Ray, Grafton Monster, and Grim Reaper. And with the addition of the Mothman, Headless Horseman, Dark Watchers, Wood Devil of Coas County, and Indrid Cold, we get the full lineup. These boxes released on Friday the 13th, and they went insanely quick. This could have been tied for or faster than the Fan Art Blister Pack drop. This sold out literally in seconds. It released a little late. For me, it was available at 12:01 in about 25 to 30 seconds. And by 12:02, it had basically been sold out. I was watching a live stream of EpicTube HD trying to get his boxes, and I checked out maybe 2 to 3 seconds sooner than he did, and he got the sold out error message. So fortunately, I was lucky enough to get 2. I'm going to open one for the channel, and then the other I'm not quite sure what to do with yet, but I'm going to figure that out. And this was an example of another release where they didn't have a limit in place. So they ended up canceling or partially canceling orders after the fact, which would then trickle back onto the marketplace as they were doing the cancellations, and you would see the Nightfall boxes going in and out of stock for hours after the release. And the problem there is that when they're doing a cancellation of an order, they're really only putting a small subset back on the market, and all of those people that didn't get it in the initial drop are racing to get that as fast as they can. So you have, for most people, the same experience that they got at noon. You know, some people were lucky enough to get in on those restocks, and if you did, you know, good for you, congratulations. But most people did not. And I do want to be fair to MetaZoo here. Yes, they sold out quickly. Yes, we are battling scalpers. People saw the success of Cryptid Nation Revive, something that I almost sat out on, and they decided to get in on Nightfall Revive because they're seeing cards for redemption sell for $300 for the uncommons, $2,500 to $2,000 for Mothman. The investment opportunity was huge with these. So it makes sense that it went as fast as it did. I expected that, I called it out, as well as many other content creators. But I said I wanted to be fair to MetaZoo, and what I really want to point out is that a lot of the people that I know in the background from doing these videos were lucky enough to get in on it. And then talking to people on Facebook on my post to get the video out there, people were getting 2 or 3, and a fair amount of people were able to do this. So with a print run of 2,050 boxes and the number of people that I've seen that were able to snag a few, you know, a good amount went to the people, I would imagine. And yes, you're going to have your bad actors. You're going to have your people that are getting 20 or more to resell on eBay. And literally seconds after the drop, the eBay postings were already up trying to resell these for 3 to 4 times the value. But there's a silver lining here with this happening again, just like with the fan art blister packs. And that's that MetaZoo is actually openly admitting that they need to put a limit in place. And Mike had said that with the software that they use right now for the store, that limit has been hard. So hopefully by the time that Wilderness Revive comes around, they'll have something in place that limits the number of these. Honestly, it's hard to put a number on what that limit should be because you have people that are trying to get 2 or 3. Great. You know, I think that's completely fair. But there's also collectors out there that want to get the full set, which I think is also fair, which is 11 cards. But I know that there's a lot of people online that are getting upset when you see people basically bragging that they got 8 or 10 boxes in the drop. So basically, no matter what the limit is, somebody's going to be unhappy. It's either going to be too low, so the people that want to get their master sets of the release can't get the 10 boxes that they can use to then open, see what they get, and trade. And if it's too high, the people that want to get a few and it sells out before they can get it, they're just going to complain that the limit was too high. There's no right answer here, but there is a wrong answer. And the wrong answer is no limit. And while we're on the subject of Revive, we did get our first look at a Wilderness Revive board. They showed us what the art for the exploding rabbit design is going to look like. And honestly, I really don't know what to expect with Wilderness. Exploding rabbit isn't really my favorite, so this is probably actually one that I wouldn't want to get, to be honest. And Mike had also teased that the Wilderness Revive boxes might come with tech decks, which if you're from the 90s, you'll remember those. They're fingerboards. But my question with that is, does that mean that we can expect a higher price point for the Wilderness Revive boxes? If not, cool. It's an extra little add-on. I'm happy. Do I really want to pay extra for a fingerboard? No. On May 11th, we got a look at the Phantom Car Stash Loot promo alongside the Spookala promo for Spooklight. It was announced that the Stash Loot promos, which I know some of you have been waiting a while for, will be shipping this week. And Spookala is going on this weekend, so some people already have these Spooklights in hand. On May 12th, it was announced that the eBay boxes have finished printing, which is great news. And these boxes basically resemble a stunted version of the Wilderness Booster boxes, obviously with different art, but they're shorter. Obviously, they have less cards, so that makes sense, but they definitely resemble more of a spell book. And the interesting thing here is that with these boxes finished printing, and you can see they're in the cellophane there, that means they're ready to go out. So I'd imagine that we're actually going to be seeing these boxes earlier than the 60-day window that we were originally told when the eBay boxes dropped. Now, not long after that, we got one of the most exciting and unexpected announcements: a zombie Mothman. Now, we don't yet know what set this Mothman is a part of, but they did specifically say not UFO. And this is going to be dropping in June. So what set do you think this could be a part of, and what other BCs do you think that we could see in a zombified fashion? Maybe Babe? Piazza Bird? Grim Reaper? Wait. And for the last update for the week, we got a look at UFO retail kits that are going to be going out to LGSs soon. These include stands, window clings, stickers, I like stickers, and alt art promo cards. And it was confirmed that these will get to LGSs before UFO, and we got to look at 2 of the stands. The first one has a headless horseman, it has Awful in the tree above him, 2 exploding rabbits by his feet, and this big image of the Lake Chelan monster with the full moon behind them. And the second one, also a nighttime theme, is a bit more UFO based. It has 3 beasties being beamed down by the de facto UFO from the box art, and it has a gray alien, a green alien, and either the Cumberland spaceman or the alien astronaut. I'm not quite sure on that, but I would look forward to seeing these in LGSs soon. And unfortunately for me, I don't have any LGSs around me that are participating in MetaZoo yet. The closest store that I know of right now is Crossroad Games in Maine, and that's a bit of a trek for me. I have been there a few times for other reasons, so I'm hoping that within the near future, stores more local to me will also pick this up and I can actually go to a LGS to get MetaZoo. Now, there was no MetaZoo hour this week, so there's really nothing to talk about there. I imagine that there's going to be one soon because they typically don't go 2 weeks between. Tomorrow is the day that the 2022 fan art contest starts, so I'd imagine maybe they're saving it for after that, or they're probably just trying to deflect by getting the fan art contest information out there first before doing the next MetaZoo hour. Well, that's all I wanted to cover in this week's video, and as I mentioned before, I'm expecting to get the video on the logo contest out tomorrow to announce the winners. So thank you for sticking around for yet another MetaZoo weekly update, and I'll catch you in the next one. You're still here. Why don't you check out these 2 videos? There were some good ones from the past if you haven't seen them already. Yeah, well, this is awkward. I'm just gonna